Hey everyone, Joey G with Touch of the Brush Model Weathering and also Railfan X. This video that I'm going to be sharing with you is one of my favorites that I ever made. In this video, I'm going to introduce to you and share with you a wonderful man. His name is Carl. Carl was an engineer for 42 years. He was an engineer on the Chicago and Northwestern and the Soo Line in Chicago. He currently lives here in Tennessee. And he shared a lot of stories. My friend and I went to visit him since his son and his daughter-in-law, they went out to a family event. So we were able to spend one night and hang out with him. And he told us a tremendous amount of stories and memories of him being a railroader. And in this video, I really want to show you and make you listen to a lot of the stories. And these are some of my favorites. He has told a lot more, and I wish I was able to film all of them. So make sure you tune up your volume a little bit, only because some of the videos seem a little low, and that's because I was using my phone. But I really want you guys to really listen to these stories. They're a lot of fun and very interesting. You're going to hear stuff from when he wrecked a brand new locomotive on the Chicago and Northwestern. Some World War II stories from when he has a steam whistle that he took from a steam engine. And also, he actually knows the whole story of the incident that everybody knows about, the woman who was killed by the Metro North train, I believe back in late 80s or early 90s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll leave you off with Carl.
Oh man, I forgot the name of the depot.
Was it Chicago?
Yeah. It was in Bensonville.
Bensonfield.
Okay. And I'm coming in. Train is stopped at the depot. Gates are down. And he's looking at me. And he sees this train stopped. Not paying attention. He drives around the gate. But he didn't know about the express coming down number 2. Hit that car. Spun him completely around twice in air because it was right in front of me. Proceeded to put him down on my track, and he slid sideways with the car on the rails right in front of me. Well, I threw it in emergency, and when I stopped, I was about maybe 5 feet from the car. And I mean, this guy went, I think, about 3 times. He spun around.
Wow.
Back tire, or the spare tire, went bouncing down the street. I mean it.
I believe it,
went
yeah.
bouncing down. Last time I seen it, it was about a block down. Still going in the middle of the street. That tire knocked off one of them flashing lights on the crossing gate thing. Sheared that thing right off. And okay, I'm stopped. I get out. The guy over here in this car, he gets out. Now, when this train hit, he was doing 72 miles an hour when he hit the car. He blew every window out of that car.
Wow.
And I went down to see where he was. He ate in the car. I don't see him. He comes over and sticks his head through the window. Where is he? And we start looking under the car, looking around. Did he fly out of the car? We don't know. Where is he? I stuck my head back in there looking in the back seat. All of a sudden I hear, oh, oh. I looked around, he's completely under the dash. Whole body is underneath the dash. And on the passenger side, all I could see was his fingers of his hand and part of his nose. That was all. The rest of him was under the dash.
Wow.
I mean, physically. So, fire department's right. There's an alley there, right alongside the track, and the back of the firehouse is right there. So, my head man, he went over and he's yelling at the firemen to come on over. Well, they must have got the call at the same time, and they come sailing around the corner, and the guy that was looking in there, I told him, he's under the dash. So he stuck his head in there and looked. Oh yeah, I see. He backed off, backed off. All through the inside of that car was spaghetti. He must have had leftover spaghetti for his lunch. But I mean, it spread all over, stuck to the ceiling, stuck to the floor, everything. So, fire department comes there and he come up behind me and I says, he's under the dash. What? I says, he's under the dash. So he looked in there and he says, I don't see him. Look over the passenger side. Oh yeah, I see his fingers. He said, we'll take care of this. So they got that big jaws of death, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And they went clunk, 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 and took the roof of the car off. Yeah. I mean, just to tell you, that's how long it took. These guys, I mean, they crunched in it. And then they took a backboard, he slid it on the floor there. And I don't know what they did, but they managed to get the seat in the back seat, the front seat. And then he went clink, clink on the two ends of the dash and once in the middle, ripped the dash right out of there and rolled him on that board. And they duct taped him.
Yeah.
They duct taped him on the board. I'm not kidding you. I thought maybe they put some straps over, and everything. No, they got, two guys got big roll of duct tape. Why, two firemen picked them up on the board. And I mean, they went around and around, duct tape on that board.
You don't want him moving at all.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to get off of that.
Oh, really?
They picked the board up and they put it on the gurney from the ambulance. I guess that's what you call it, huh? The thing when they had it.
Yeah.
Okay, they put that. Then they duct taped that on the gurney.
They didn't want him getting away.
No.
And why they were there looking at him and what have you. He's going, and his shoulders going like this. And then all of a sudden his foot start moving. And next thing you know, they rolled him in the ambulance and took off like a shot. But I don't think he got his spaghetti that day.
No, I don't think so either. I tried to think about just what happened because I almost died 3 times on the railroad. The guy jolted the train forward. I was leaning. Thank God I was holding on the railing, but it was so dark in the rail yard that I put my flashlight on the end of the coach. That's what I could see in my distance while I was connecting trains. So it should bring back memories for you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, they used to switch on top of the cars. You had the catwalks up there.
Right.
Well, my fireman says, "Oh, man, you should have seen that." I says, "Seen what?" And he's watching this conductor of ours down maybe about 20 cars on the roof of the cars with his lantern. I says, "What happened?" He says he jumped off through the switch and jumped right back on the top of the car. Well, what happened was he lost his lamp. The carman was down there, so he picked it up and threw it back up.
That's great.
Oh, man.
He says he jumped down through that switch and jumped right back up to the top of the car.
That's hilarious.
Coming along, and the train was stopped at the depot, but the express was coming down the middle track, and they were coming across the track, and the guy seen the train, and he went like this, but the lady that was with him, she kept on walking, and the train hit her.
I remember seeing videos of that. They
That's
always
right.
stop it right there.
Yeah, but I seen the rest of it.
I know you have. I'm sure you have.
You know what happened? Can you tell me what you think happened?
Oh, there's nothing left of her. Or everything was left of her, just all over.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When was this?
God, I am shaking right now. It's everywhere. Every video I have on you go on YouTube, it's those E8s.
No, but when was this situation?
Oh, with the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 80s and 90s. Yeah,
You know
because
what?
Why I've never,
the road to know
I've
the
never heard of
E8s,
it.
so
Yeah.
the 80s before
You know-
Metro.
Yeah.
Do you know the guy that was with that lady was her lawyer, and she was going downtown to file for divorce?
Wow.
Well, needless to say that the husband got away with it.
Wow,
So sad.
that's.
But
Can you imagine the husband though feeling like that pain?
she blew up.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
I
pop.
mean, physically, well, they stopped so that you don't see it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It always stops. You can never see the rest of it.
Well, I seen the rest of it. The guy was showing it at a railroad show,
Mm-hmm.
and I told him, I says, I'm an engineer. And he says, maybe you'd be interested in looking at this. And so he's showing it. And he stopped it. And I says, I want to see what happened. He says, we usually don't show that. I said, I want to see what happened. And she just physically blew up.
see,
Western engines,
Aw.
steam engines,
poor guy.
and they had the number lights on the headlight
Yeah.
on there. Well, it was brass. All you had to do is take your fingers under there, bend that brass up,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
and you could slide the number plate out.
Oh yeah.
So I had one. I got one. What it was one pane of glass. Then there was another pane of glass that they had sandblasted it, so it was frosty.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had a piece of leather with the numbers cut out in that leather. And they had another piece of glass over that. Then it had a channel that was all around it. So heavy as all get out.
And the light shone through that to really
Yeah.
make the numbers stand out.
Well, when the headlight was on, it would also light up because it was on the side of the headlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and me, like a dummy, I sold it to a guy for $50.
Oh no. Now it's probably worth a lot more, sure.
I don't
It's
have
both
the,
priceless.
I don't have the
It's not
50
worth a
bucks.
dime. I'm sorry, was that rude?
Nope.
Oh,
Ah.
So how long did you operate on the road, basically? Not that long. You're mostly yard switcher, right?
I was in the yard mostly and transfer.
Transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you enjoy that a lot more than doing road work.
Well, that, you fight your way over there for 8, 10 hours, 12 hours. You get to the other end of the line, you lay over for 8, 10, 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fight your way coming back 8, 10, 12 hours coming back. Got 8 hours or 10 hours at home, and you're back on the road again.
Yeah.
That's all right if you're ticked off at the old lady or something.
Or if you're single and you try and make some
Or
income
single,
and
yeah.
overtime, yeah.
So I tried passenger one time.
Never again.
Never again. Yeah.
Passengers talk back.
Yeah.
I had one old lady bang on the side of the coach. She said, "What's the matter with you? You have a bad night?" I passed her up on the depot.
Oh.
The engineer he said, "Oh, you know how to run." So I'm going along, he says, "Oh, start applying the brake." Going right. Well, they're like sheep, these people. Let me tell you how this goes. They all stand in a cluster. on the platform. And when the train comes down, the door stops right in front of them. All they got to do is go up into the coach.
Yeah.
You pass them up, and all you hear is bah, 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 bah. They're all complaining because they got to walk a half a coach length to get to the coach. I'm not kidding you.
I believe
That's
you.
why.
I grew up on subways. I
I
know.
passed this lady up, and then when we finally got in the depot in Chicago, I hear bang, bang, bang on the side of the car because we were in a cab car at the end. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. And she's banging on a thing, and what the heck is that? Finally, I slide the window open, and I look down, and here's this old lady down there with her umbrella banging on the coach. He said, "What's the matter? You had a bad night last night? You passed me up." I told the engineer, I said, "That's it. I don't want passenger service."
Jeez.
But then when they emptied them, they filled up one car with ashes, and we would build that every night. And then we would spot the cold storage and the zinc outfit, and there was other places there where we used to go, all down the lower Wacker Drive. And we would drive, our tracks would go right underneath the Marina City.
Okay.
And right above us was the swimming pool.
That's cool.
I often thought about that thing ever springs a leak.
Right.
And then we would go over the river bridge. Sometimes when we were switching, we used that for headroom.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, our timing was just perfect. Here comes the barge coming down with sand and gravel for the cement works down the river. And he could go under our bridge because it was only about 3 feet above the water.
Jeez.
So, and he make a mistake once, but he didn't do it anymore. He took that powerful light and shined it into the cab of the engine. Well, that blinded the engineer. So he says.
Oh.
Okay? And he got off the engine, and he's going like this along the side of the engine field in the cars. I kind of laughed a little bit about it, but in a sense, he was right.
Right.
If this guy wouldn't have shined that light on it, we would have made 2 moves and shoved off the bridge so they could. Well, it was a swivel bridge.
Okay.
It was used to
Swing.
Yeah, or swing bridge.
Okay.
And then we'd go over and he could go by. And when he shined that light in the cab of the engine, that ticked off that engineer.
Please tell the story how you busted that brand new locomotive. Is that the one that got you fired from C&W?
From Chicago Northwestern
Western?
Mill.
No, they got rid of me because they got rid of the feather bedders.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. Glenn tells the stories. You ran into a brand new locomotive and put it on its
Oh,
side.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This engineer comes in. And I had come to work, I was hustling at the diesel house. And I had 26 locomotives in that area.
There you are.
And this guy comes in with 3 units,
Mm-hmm.
puts it on the powerhouse track, but the hind unit was sticking out in the foul.
Of course it was.
Well, he came up to me, he told me, he says, that engine's in the foul. He says, I'll move it any place you want me to do. I don't want to leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, don't worry about it. I says, I'll take care of it. Which I did. So I completely forgot that thing was in the foul. Brand new locomotive. Made 1 trip to Milwaukee, come back.
What kind was it?
GE.
Yeah.
I took good picks. And foreman comes up and says, "Take that stuff out of house 3." And he says, "And put it over in the lock." I said, "Okay." So the guy that works with me was fueling engines, and I said, "I got to move this right away." "Oh, I'm still fueling." I said, "All right, I'll go. I'll do it myself."
No.
And I backed up, and I'm looking out the window, and I see this covered wagon go, pow! What the hell? Oh no! Then it dawned on me. Well, I ripped half of the steps off the GE, crunched the battery box, because that's what's under there.
What are you doing?
And I bent the snowplow around the drawbar.
Oh,
And
jeez.
then proceeded, the covered wagon was hind unit, proceeded to put that over on its side. So I walked back to the roundhouse, went up in the office, and I told the foreman, I says, "I had a little accident." "Oh, okay, come on, we'll go out and take a look." We get out there, and he looks, he says, "Boy, you did a good job." "Oh, thanks." So making a long story short, they had an investigation.
Oh, jeez.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
So they told me who was on the job and what have you, or the train that left in it. I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "That engineer come up personally and told me he was in the foul and he would move it if I want him to do that." And I told him, "No, leave it there and I'll take care of it." He said, "Okay." So I says, "I can't blame him. He told me that it was in the foul." I said, "I take full responsibility." That was it. So then Mike Weaver, the roundhouse foreman, I'm trying to think of the other guy. Oh, man. Oh, the traveling engineer.
Okay.
And the superintendent.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in the investigation. And I told him, I says, "It's my fault, and I can't blame that guy because he came to me and told me." I says, "That wouldn't be right." He says, "Okay, Carl." He says, "Go on out, sit outside there, and we'll come out and tell you what's going to happen." So they had a little conference, and I don't know what they said in there and what have you. And I hadn't had any accidents or anything. And I've been doubling over 4 days in a row. I worked a day job and then I doubled over on the afternoon. And this was my 4th day.
Yeah. You're tired at this point.
Yeah. So
just a tad, you know.
Just a tad,
just a tad tired. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking.
Jeez.
But I was thinking when that covered wagon went over. So end results was they pulled me out of service for indefinite period of time.
Oh, jeez.
That's
a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
More like
could have been
fired.
saying I'm fired or I'm pulled out for a long period of time or what have you. So it wound up 84 days.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they call. In the meantime, I had to work. So I went over to the Soo Line, working as an engineer over there. And went over to the roundhouse and asked them if possibility I could hire out as an engineer. He said, "You an engineer?" I said, "Yeah." "Hell yes, I can. I need engineers." Okay. So, and I hired out, and I decided to stay with them because it was a much better railroad.
Well, absolutely.
So.
Until they took the Milwaukee Road.
Yeah. Well, the Soo Line, their engines were clean and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to church, and I had an afternoon run. I come to work and I, in my suit and run the engine. They thought I was some official. No, I just wear my suit. I don't feel like changing.
Yeah, exactly. What got you into model railroading?
Army.
What?
Army.
The Army? You started there?
I was in model railroading. My parents bought me a train
Okay.
for Christmas, and I babied that thing. And then I went into the Army and I packed it all up. And we were going over to France, and Sergeant asked, "Anybody know anything about railroad?" You know. Then all of a sudden it dawned on me, I'm volunteering. And he says, "What do you know about railroad?" I said, "I'm a model railroader." "Oh, come over with me." And he got another guy. Wound up working the railhead in France.
Oh.
They were moving supplies from the ship to the shore in these little doodlebug truck things.
Wagons, basically. Just...
You know, with the landing crafts.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to.
No, yeah.
Yeah, they put one truck in this little landing craft, go on out to the ship. They put the stuff in the truck, and come back, and you drive it off, and another guy back in, and that's what they were doing. Then they brought it down to the railroad, and we would have, if you pardon the expression, frogs. Those are the Frenchmen.
Yes. They had names for us too.
Yeah, they did.
And they would load the cargo and stuff and what have you. And we asked for a couple of heavy duty things because we had five personnel carriers, amphibious personnel carriers,
Mm-hmm.
and we needed a couple of heavy duty flat cars. They came with this little dinky car, all wheels. There was 6 wheels, all in a row. That was their heavy duty flat car.
Wow. How the heck make radius curves?
I have no idea.
They didn't. They stayed in the straight yard.
Probably. Probably.
They took it from the back line to the main line.
That's it. Probably. You're probably right.
During the war, they blew up the bridge down the track down there, and our good GIs come on over, and it was one of them arch bridges, you know, with the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they blew out the center of it, so they put a big beam across that. Made it bridge. Yeah. And it worked. You know.
Of course, yeah.
So, come about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, this guy would come on out, had a uniform on, he looked like the doorman to the Conrad Hilton. Blew his whistle, everybody in the depot went, disappeared. We had what they call an open shed. Come in, the shed was on, track went out the other end. And all of a sudden you could hear that thing coming. And he would go over that metal part of the bridge so you knew exactly where he was. This is a steam engine. I mean, he was traveling. He had to be doing 90 at least. It was the express to Paris.
Oh, wow.
Yep. That's why he blew the whistle. Everybody was gone to the platform. When that train left, I would say probably about 5 minutes after I had been there. Smoke still coming out from the end of that shed.
Wow.
That's great.
I mean, he went pew right through that shed and kept on going. Then he came back out and he blew his whistle. Everybody come back out.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
That's great.
Steam engine. That son of a gun was going. I wanted to take a picture of it, but I couldn't.
Especially in those days.
It was there and gone.
I just had that little So
So you were all on the platform at that point when you watched that thing go through?
I wasn't on the platform.
Well-
I was in the yard that was right alongside the
Okay.
station. We had a five track yard there, and the frogs would bring down cars. And I got to tell you about lunchtime. Come time for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
they would stop the engine, everything. In fact, I don't know where it's at. I think it's in the storage shed. I got 15-pound brass whistle.
Oh, wow.
I often wondered what that engineer thought when he started firing that engine up. He got a whistle. No, I had the keys to the gear locker, and my buddy was the guard that night on guard duty. And put the wrench back. I wrapped it up.
That's why they hate us to this day.
Sir, what is that you have?
I wrapped it up. I wrapped it up in a towel, stuck it in my duffel bag right down the center of it. Packed my clothes all around it. And that's how I got it through the States. You got anything to declare? No.
Just some French underwear.
Yes.
Very heavy.
Oh, wow.
This had the airline on here. Would blow the airline, piston would come out and blow the whistle. The whistle was mounted on here. So, but that whistle, it's got to be probably about that long. And it's got a slide on it, on the outside of it. And you make that thing screech or whistle or lower tone.
Okay, so that when you pull the string, it releases that bar for the air to come out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's insane. That's incredible.
You know what? Glenn's gonna be mad. We're keeping him up past his bedtime.
I know.
Oh man, I didn't even realize how late it was.
Don't tell your son.
Yeah, we won't tell Glenn. Yeah, we left the house about
7:30.
No,
8 o'clock.
Yeah, we left about 8:15.
Hey, I'm alone.
I know.
You have no rules right now.
Right.